I'm pretty sure we've all heard about the Switch 2 game prices. Nintendo has now set a new market standard for video games, because thanks to them, we'll have to pay up to $80 just for a single game, like Mario Kart for example. So, you may have thought about modding your Switch 2. This will allow you to play video games from a USB stick, and yeah, you will be able to get Switch 2 games for free online if you know where to search. But unfortunately, jailbreaking your Switch 2 will be close to impossible. So if you wanna find out why, and if you're crazy enough how to theoretically mod it, just watch this video till the end, and without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let's make the advantages of modding your console really clear. The most important feature is the fact that you'll be able to play game backups, which you can illegally obtain from the internet for free. So Nintendo's newest games won't require a fee to be played. Another huge factor that you must have in mind is emulation. You'll be able to emulate all of Nintendo's consoles free of charge. If this will actually work, we'll have access to basically all of the games Nintendo ever created on a single console, which we'll also be able to take on the go. That would be fantastic. And finally, customization. We'll be able to fully customize our Switch 2s exactly the way we want. From custom themes to animated booting animations to nice UI tweaks and custom sound effects. There are so many things you can change about the console and truly make it yours that it would take another video for me to tell you. Overall, there are a ton of reasons why Switch 2 modding sounds appealing. But now, let me tell you what awaits if you'll give it a try. Well, Nintendo has now learned from the mistakes they did with the original Switch, which could be quite easily modded through the RCM exploit. After gamers exploited their console, they are now effortlessly able to run custom firmware and homebrew apps, which allow you to do all of the cool stuff mentioned a bit earlier, like playing games backups and new customization features you're now able to use. But unfortunately, with the introduction of the new Switch 2, all of the old software exploits like RCM aren't available. Now, the only way you could mod your Switch 2 is through hardware modifications, which contain of adding custom chips or other sophisticated changes. Yeah, now homebrewing your Switch 2 is extremely hard and for most of the people undoable. But let's suppose that you finally managed to jailbreak your new Switch. Then you'd have to be careful not to be caught, because otherwise Nintendo's going to disable your Switch 2. Yeah, you heard that right. Now Nintendo can legally make your console unplayable. No turning on, no responses, just a black screen. I know that's crazy. But before moving on, let me tell you why. You see, now when buying the Switch 2, you don't actually own the console. Instead, you just own a license which allows you to play it. So, your license can be easily revoked anytime if you do something that's against the rules. All of the things I told you earlier are exactly the same with all of the games. I suppose you already knew that because this has been around for a few years already, but I just had to make sure. So, besides the fact that the Switch 2 will be close to impossible to mod for the average gamer, you also have to face some harsh consequences if you get caught, which is really likely to happen. Some of these punishments are disabling your Switch, making it unplayable, and potential legal problems, and no one wants any of those. So, should you actually mod your Switch 2? In my opinion, I don't think it's actually worth it. First of all, you have to spend hours just by trying to jailbreak the console. And if you aren't really good at this kind of stuff, you'll probably end up with a broken Switch 2. But let's suppose you successfully manage to do it. Then you must make sure you aren't caught by Nintendo, because otherwise they're going to revoke your license and once again make your Switch 2 unusable. There are simply too many ways that you'll break your console that I don't think it's worth trying. Especially now, given the fact that the Switch 2 is $450 and can even go up to half a grand with the Mario Kart bundle. So this is my opinion on this subject, but if you disagree with me, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this clip, I'd be really grateful if you could leave me a like, a subscribe, and some feedback. I was David, bye, have a nice day.